Howard into this pantheon of superstardom. But in reality, when you look around the league and you look around at the big men around the league, what separates him? You know, what definitively separates Dwight Howard from any other of these big men? I can't really point out one or two
nothing.
things.
I mean, the thing about Dwight that Dwight brought to the table was that, you know, and I hate to say this, but it's true. He was marketable. You know, he was very marketable. Like,
and athletic potential. Because that's what a lot of these dudes come into the league with. They come into the league with athletic potential, and people wait for it to kind of manifest. But then after about 8 or 9 years, when that's all it still is, it's not a game anymore. Like, it's not your game. You're still just athletic. Well, you just are who you are. That's it. Good, bad, or indifferent, you are who you are. And I think that's where we are with Dwight Howard. He's still an athletic phenomenon. But if I'm going to call him like a great big man, I wouldn't. If that makes sense. I don't know. So,
he just never reached that. He just never reached that next level. I mean, and at this point, you know, I don't see him being able to, you know, turn that around and, you know, become something even more. I mean, because at this point, it kind of is what it is.
Especially the way his body's betraying him now. Like, his body's breaking down. Like, every year is something different with Dwight, man, and that's a telltale sign right now that you're on that downslope. Like, dude, I hate doing this, what I'm about to do right now, but I'm watching the Hawks game, man, and I talked about this the other day. The difference that Kyle Korver makes, man, as far as how they're able to space and balance the floor on offense. It's miraculous, man, to see how crisp the cuts and how open the looks are. Even if they miss it, because they just missed his last shot. But it was an open look based on just Kyle cutting through the lane, getting these natural picks, and then moving the basketball, them reversing the basketball and balancing the court. I don't know, man. I just had to mention that because it's wonderful. I love watching the Hawks play basketball. I can't overstate that enough. It just looks good when it's right, and when it's wrong, you notice it immediately.
Yeah, like that.
Right. There's a night and day difference when it's just not right. Like, you see Al shooting threes from the top of the key. You see, you know, Dennis Schroeder, you know, trying to post people. Like, everybody's in the wrong spot. It just looks crazy. But yeah, I just had to mention this. But back to this whole Dwight Howard thing. Like, he's coming back now. Patrick Beverley, their pest and their defensive guy. Got the wrist situation. Yeah, ligaments in the wrist. Now they're talking about season-ending surgery for this dude. What? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Houston. There goes that. Derrick Rose seems to be feeling all right. Says he feels no pain in the knee. Expects to come back during the regular season. I actually checked out my guy Jason Goff today, man, because like anytime something happens with, you know, this Derrick Rose situation, I always want to kind of get that perspective. So I turned on some Chicago radio today. And
what are they saying? I
mean, basically just talking about who Derrick is going to be when he gets back. Because the dynamic around him has changed with you know, the emergence of because Jimmy Butler's back off his elbow.
Right.
They got Pau Gasol, who's another offensive threat. This is a different team than it was in the MVP year when Derrick, you know, had Carlos Boozer and it was him and Joe, and Derrick had to pretty much shoulder the offensive load. And my guy Goff made a good point. He was talking about now we get to see if Derrick is going to make the right basketball play, because now the automatic right basketball play isn't me, you know, isn't me taking the shot. There are other options. Again, there's Powell, there's Taj Gibson, there's Jimmy Butler. You've got other options now.
I mean, it's a great situation for him coming up with this injury. I mean, you know, if he embraces that, you know, it's a great situation because, you know, he can now kind of defer, if you will, to the other players around until he gets, you know, fully antiquated. Not antiquated. That's not the word I'm looking for.
Like you mixed two words, integrated and antiquated in one word.
But until, you know, he gets in and gets his legs back under him, because you know him just coming back. I mean, I know he's not, you know, gonna be 100 out there, you know, when he first takes the floor. So they got him in a great situation. I mean, you got some great role players out there. I'm big on Joakim Noah, Pau Gasol, the consummate team player.
Yeah, must have try hard, boy. Them dudes play hard, cuz like you got ready to fight when you play the Bulls.
And young Jimmy Butler, hey, that boy, he gonna be somebody.
He's about to get paid like somebody this offseason too. Somebody's gonna pony up like $80 million for Jimmy Butler. And
hey boy, he gonna be somebody.
They hoping it's gonna be he's hoping it's gonna be the Bulls, But this happened today too, and I just caught it out the corner of my ear, and it made me stop everything I was doing. You remember us having this conversation about Rajon Rondo maybe about a year ago, maybe a little bit more than that ago, about how he was this quote-unquote capable shooter, and the example that you kept giving me was this one game that he just went off all these points. Do you realize, first of all, let me say this. Monte Ellis went the F off yesterday, the way Monte does.
Yeah, I watched the game last night.
The way Monte does, right? Against the who robbed the defending champions? Are they the defending champions, Spurs? No. They're the 2014 champions, Spurs, is what they are.
Yes, the defending champions.
No, they ain't defending nothing. Because if that's the case, the Mavericks are the champs today. Then.
They were flat. They looked bad last night.
Yeah, and Monte was just losing his damn mind. After a couple of weeks of struggles, man, he came out of that. He kind of busted out of it. But speaking of struggles, dude,
Rondo.
Oh my God, do you realize what Rajon Rondo is shooting from the free throw line? Like, I'm saying it's quiet like it's a secret, because it should be. Do you realize what?
40%?
35%. This dude,
that's unbelievable. This
dude is up 10%. It was at 25. Dude, I almost vomited when I heard that. Like, we want to laugh at DeAndre. Like, if they're playing Hacker Rondo, you're a guard, dude. Have some more self-respect for yourself.
But I wonder, because I don't have it in front of me, I wonder how many times he's been to the line.
I don't give a damn. If he went 3 times, all year.
And the reason I say that, and the only reason I say that is because, Rajon don't really shoot the ball a whole lot.
Look,
so
here's the point that they were making, too, about that. The fact that he's so bad at the line is affecting his play. And now he's not being as aggressive as he should be because he's scared to get fouled and go to the line. That's a bad spot to be in. That's a bad spot mentally to be in. Yeah. What? You understand how much money this dude is costing himself with all this foolishness that's going on out there with him? Like 2 years ago, we would have been talking about Rajon Rondo cashing in. Now this dude is pedestrian as hell. We was talking about the argument we were having, as a matter of fact. We're about the top point guards in the league. Yeah, that argument is solved, cuz. Argument has been solved. Jesus Christ.
But when the argument was legit, it was legit.
35%. Dude, I'm almost sure. I'm past sure. I can right now, right this very minute. If I got up out this chair and drove down to Newburgh to the court, I could shoot 35%. You gave me 20 shots. I can shoot 35% better at the free throw line. And the fact that he's up from 25, that's deplorable. Like, you shouldn't even call yourself a professional at that point. Like, DeAndre Jordan's looking at him like, damn, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I shoot 40.
Right, DeAndre looking at him like, my man, are you even trying? Oh, God. When I heard that today, I was like, please don't let me forget to bring that up tonight, because that can't be a real thing. You're an NBA basketball player. You're a professional getting paid money every week to play that game, and you can't muster up 35%. Like, all this whole, how often does he go to the line? Dude, if he goes once a game, I don't care. I don't care. We're on game 70 now, and you're on your second team. And here's the other part about that whole situation. Like, everyone made such a big deal about what Detroit did or what Atlanta's doing now without Josh Smith. How about the Celtics without Rajon Rondo?
Yeah, they're winning.
That's an indictment. That is an
They're
indictment.
fighting for a playoff.
Bruh, that's an indictment, cuz. Like, for everything that people have said about Rajon Rondo, he's proven them right. Like, he's this malcontent in the locker room. We saw that with the argument with Rick Carlisle. He's a guy who wants things to be his way, That was part of the argument because he wanted to call the plays. You talked about it the other day how you attributed Monte Ellis' struggles to playing with Rondo because Monte needs the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I mean, remember that was Ray Allen's whole gripe when they went to Boston. Remember that's what they were saying was like one of the final straws of him even leaving Boston was the fact that he couldn't coexist with Rajon Rondo.
Yeah, man.
So I mean, I can believe it. We all know he's a hot. I mean, you've seen it. He's a hothead.
Dude,
I mean,
that dude is costing himself so much money, man. So much money. I don't know. I can't. My
and maybe, and not to take anything away from his talent, right? But maybe, being out on the court at times with three of the best players in the world, at any given point, talking about KZ, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce. I mean, that could have just made him even that much better. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wasn't that the argument I was making? When we was having the argument about how great Rondo is, I was like, there are 3 Hall of Famers on the court with him. That was my whole entire argument.
I'm just saying, but see, now that we've seen him in Boston without that, and now that he's trying to transition and figure this thing out in Dallas, I mean, you're seeing it. Exactly. I mean, when you actually witnessing, him playing on their level and them winning, I mean, you can't go against it at that moment.
Yeah, of course you can. I did. You chose not to.
Well, yeah,
I did.
You always, yeah. Well, naturally, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because to me, it's just a rational thing. It's like when you're speaking about the unknown, especially like how when you want to just proclaim somebody and put them into the status of greatness, I'm gonna definitely look at the people around you. And if I look at those people around you and I say, at the time, I guess it was like the whole Darren Williams and Chris Paul and who else were we talking? Russ and those dudes. And I was like, all right, if I put any of these dudes in that same spot, how good would they be? And when I say all of them will be as good or better, yeah, I got to kind of take you out of the argument. But then, I thought, sorry, I just saw Paul Millsap on the ground grabbing that stuff, Sorry, I'd probably turn this and just hit the DVR. We got about 2.5. Yeah, we got like 2.5 minutes left in the hour, so I might just DVR the rest of it and turn this to something else, to Survivor or something. What else is happening? This kid. They were talking about this kid in his cancer today out in Oklahoma City, man. How now it's a problem. It's going to be a serious little problem with them having a dude in the middle, a significant big, not freaking Kendrick Perkins, a real big that contributes on a 20-10 basis offensively. You know what I mean? To allow Serge to play that new stretch four that he loves so much now, shooting his jump shot, and as well, a guy who can be a big body presence defensively, helping Serge out down there on the defensive end, and adding another offensive option to Russ, KD, and Serge. This kid has come out of nowhere, and I heard the same dude, Brian Windhorst, today talking about he's going to be a restricted free agent this offseason. It's going to force, because Oklahoma City, obviously they want to keep KD when he becomes a free agent. It's going to force them to sign this dude up for like $50-60 million in order to show Kevin Durant that this thing is for real. We're not going nowhere. This season was just an aberration, and next year we'll be back, in that top 4, looking to get that 1-2 seed and back to the finals like we're accustomed to. Sounds good to me. They kind of just found this kid diamond in the rough, traded away bitter face Kendrick Perkins and like a conditional 1, and got them back a nice little player. That's gonna do it, I guess, for this hour. We got about 50 seconds left. In the next hour, Rob mentioned it earlier on the show. There's some concussion news that's going on now, and it's kind of trickled down to the college game, and some things that happened yesterday. Some real technical things that are going on with the NFL and the things that they're trying to do to remedy their concussion issue or their head trauma issue. Some rule changes, some technology things, some people that they're bringing in to aid in the making the game safer. Go ahead, take a drink, everyone. I'll wait. And we'll be back with the second hour of the Wednesday edition of the Sports Kings podcast, as heard on Spreaker.com. Get at us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. They're all at Sports Kings Live. Or you can email us at Sports Kings or at Sports Kings Live at gmail.